Steve Ray, exit 425. We're not at exit 425 on Simcoe and Ash in downtown Oshawa, outside the Murray McKinnon House. The OPSEU staff here is out on the sidewalk. They seem to be having a good time, but they're frustrated. And it's been a while. And what's going on? What we do know is they're not on strike. They're in fact locked out. That's unlike the situation, as it turns out, in other parts of Ontario. So what is going on? I'm going to talk to Jeff and Jamie about just what is going on here at the Murray McKinnon House and why so many of the staff are out on the picket line. At least it's sunny today. Steve Ray, exit 425. Today's guest at exit 425.
In the main corridor of exit 425.
Local politicians to connect with families.
What are some unique challenges?
Thanks very much, Steve, for having me.
Exit 425. It's where we live. Jeff Tynes, what happens at the Murray McKinnon Foundation?
The Murray McKinnon Foundation is a detention center for young offenders. It's an open custody facility for male youth, ranging from the ages of 12 to 18. Not saying that we don't have youth older than that occasionally, but they're all youth in conflict with the law.
Okay, so there's people living here and they're still here now?
Yep, it's a open custody detention center, and what we do is we detain them until their next court date or until they've been sentenced.
Okay, so that's the function of what you work with, or what you guys work at doing.
Yep.
How many staff would work here?
It would range throughout the day. The minimum would be 2, and then go on from there, from 3, 4, depending on what time frame of the day it is.
And so these are the people who are walking the picket line, the sidewalk right now.
These are all the people that are walking the picket line. We do have different units within our foundation, but yes, they do work in all the programs.
What is the issue? I saw a television report earlier this week that showed OPSEU is on strike. And you indicated to me that different parts of OPSEU are on strike, but you guys aren't on strike.
No, we're not on strike. So we did give a notice to them that we were going on strike. The management here decided to lock us out approximately about 2 days prior to that. So I'm not exactly sure what the date was, but we did get locked out. So this agency here is on lockout, but there are some others that are on lockout. The majority of them are on strike as well.
So what's the issue? What's happened to your contract that has put you in this position where you guys as a unit chose to notify the management that you're going to go on strike, and they've decided to lock you out?
So it's twofold. So we have the negotiations with the employer itself, and we're just coming out of a long 4-year contract, and we've realized that that's way too long, and they're pushing for another 4 years. And within society, just the economy changes way too much within a 4-year. So we've always been seeking a 2-year. Here, obviously, wages are big issues, remain stagnant for well over a decade as far as the funding from the ministry. So we're looking at that, and there's some other ones that we're hooked up on as well. But then the other one is Bill 124, where we were capped for 3 years, starting way back in I think 2021 was us. We were capped for the full 3 years, and then it was deemed unconstitutional by the courts twice. And the government has released funding to certain sectors and has left us kind of to fight for our funding. And so that's where we are as well. So we're waiting for the government. We're trying to put pressure on the government to release that funding for us and then move forward with our negotiations with the employer as well.
Jeff, are all OPSEU units in Ontario being affected by this and by the same contract issues?
Not necessarily. This is the broader public service, which is community service agencies across the province within OPSEU. And a large portion of the community service sectors are transfer payment agencies. So therefore, the government pays the agency and the agency pays us. Therefore, some of the agencies that James was talking about earlier in regards to being released that funding, and remedy for Bill 124 is because they have one collective agreement for all their locations across the province. So they have a central bargaining table. So they have a lot of power at the bargaining table. And what this campaign is doing, it's bringing us all together, all smaller units all together to act like a central bargaining table with the same asks and same mandate and same timelines. So that's what's the difference between the two.
When did the contract end, or has it ended yet?
The contracts vary depending on the agencies. Some have been fighting for fair negotiation or fair collective agreement since 2024. The ones that are mostly out on strike right now are expiries of 2025. Some are 2026 because they sped up their negotiating at the bargaining table to be part of phase one.
Wow.
Yeah.
About the relationship between OPSEU, the actual employer,
Right.
and the provincial government, and the things that are kind of complicated about that relationship.
Sure. So there is some misconception and communication being put out there by the provincial government that Bill 124 is an employer and employee negotiating issue. It's not. There has been no direction from the government in terms of allocating and releasing the funding to the employer, which is what they need to wait for in order to provide that remedy to their employees. So the provincial government can't sit there and say that it's a negotiating issue. It's really not. Our employer's not who capped us at under a 1% wage increase max for 3 years. That was the Ford government that did that. And so for our employer to allocate that money, it has to first be released by the provincial government before it can happen from our employer side.
Do you get the sense at all that the employer is kind of advocating for the provincial government to make some changes?
So, I mean, Jeff can speak to that as far as like there has been some progress made on that from our employer side, collaboratively with the government as well.
Okay, Jeff?
Yeah. So there's been a few employers willing to do a joint letter to the provincial government in respect to the fact that they have not received direction from the government to fund Bill 124. So Murray McKinnon Foundation was one of 3. I think there's now 7 agencies that have joined on to with their local to submit a letter on behalf of them together in response to Bill 124 and the fact that they also feel that we've been left out and our wages have been capped and that they support being funded correctly in order to support the remedy for Bill 124.
Well, that's a positive and a lot of negative, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay. How long have you guys been walking the line here?
Today is our second day of our 4th week. So
It's been a while.
it's been a little while.
Right. How can people support you and your efforts, and not just the political stuff that's going on, not here at Simcoe and Ash, but what can people do to support you and your since you're being locked out?
Honking is the most simplest one that they can do. As they drive by, they honk and support and show their support throughout the community. They could drop off donations of food, drinks, any of those things. It really does activate the members when they're on the line and lets them know that the community supports them in their fight with the government. And there are donation opportunities for people who have that financial opportunity to support the line as well.
That's awesome. Guys, thanks very much for helping me out here and for informing us. The whole point of Exit 425 is to inform people so that they can become more engaged and understand what's going on in their community politically, and in situations like this where I guess there's different situations around the province, so they get reported on differently, and they might have a misunderstanding of what's actually going on here. So thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.